your skin, that shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, living your best. Racks up. Oh, keep walking with confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Y'all black females out here, y'all don't understand the struggles of being a black man out here in America and not knowing whether or not you gonna make it home to your children every night because of the police gunning you down.
But don't y'all be out here gunning each other down?
Okay, but we ain't talking about that.
Hell, don't y'all be rapping about killing each other in music?
We ain't talking about that either. We can talk about killing each other in rap music, but we don't like the police killing us. Stay on subject, woman.
You brought up your kids. Tyrone, you don't even see your kids.
And then, yeah, I be trying to see my kids. You know my baby mamas be tripping because I don't want to be with none of them, so they be holding my kids from me. You know that.
Okay, but your baby mama saying you don't get them no child support either.
Okay, but I still be going out my way to try to see them.
They live 5 minutes from my house, Tyrone.
That is out my way, woman. See, y'all, that's why we don't like y'all black women's mouths. Y'all run y'all mouth too much. Y'all always bringing up stuff that's irrelevant.
Well, was you cheating on me irrelevant?
I only cheated on you 10 times. You act like I do it every day, bruh. See, that's why we date women of other races, man.
Hey, boos, hey. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are y'all doing? And like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you enjoy listening to my content on the go, the show is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio listeners. Go check out my Patreon community where you can get access to bonus episodes and exclusive content and also a private community of like-minded divested women. It is linked below. Please also follow me on social media platforms. You can check me out everywhere on all platforms at Lexus Exodus. I also have a backup channel just in case something happens to this one. It is called LexX. That's LEXEX. You can find all of this information in the description below. This is another installment of my series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the dusty derelicts, crazy creatures, and animals in Blackistan. Tonight, I want to talk about nurses with a purse. And shout out to loyal patron Philosophy and Letters who contributed this idea for tonight's show. And she calls this concept the fallback woman. Because what happens is that Black men in the community don't value family. They don't value commitment or the marital unit. And contrastingly, they glamorize pimp culture and they encourage womanizing and pumping and dumping. So the nogs will spend their younger years running through women and slanging dirty peen willy-nilly and indiscriminately. They'll spend their 20s, their 30s, and even their 40s creating all of these bastard kids that they abandon. And they make these fatherless homes recklessly. And they do this for quite some time even until their late 50s, sometimes even later, until this fast life starts to catch up with them eventually. Because we know they don't take care of themselves. They live sedentary lives and they live off diets of Hennessy and lemon pepper wings and hot Cheetos and ish. So they start to experience health issues like a motherfucker. You know, they start to experience high blood pressure, diabetes. They get the sugar. They get the gout. They've also ruined their financial status and neglected their financial responsibilities. So they got messed up credit. They don't cultivate any assets. They don't save any money for a rainy day or for retirement. So after all of this ripping and running in the streets, they prey upon unsuspecting older Black women who are more mature because now they have no choice but to settle down. What they want is a nurse with a purse. They want someone that will take care of their health issues and also take care of them financially. Okay, so now that we know this concept, I want to look at this example that illustrates this. So let's look at this dusty skit that illustrates exactly what I'm referring to. Okay, so we see an old gray hair hit the wall, pop, pop with the cane. And he's knocking at a woman's door. And the caption says, when he's finally trying to settle down. So only when he's old and gray and decrepit and is crippled. And this is so common. The Dusties are making skits about this. We even hear that they're so down bad, they make Blackistan songs about this. So I may have to edit the music out just for copyright reasons on YouTube. But if I do, this song says, baby, I'm ready. I'm finally ready to settle down. Okay, that's what the original song says. I'm ready to give you my love after decades of treating you poorly and wasting your time and cheating on you and mistreating you. And we know this is just one of many songs like this. So y'all remember, we ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do it. One of my personal favorites back in the day. There's a lot of lust inside of me. We've been together since our teenage years. I really don't mean to hurt her, but I need some time to be alone. Yo, like, this is what I'm saying. Excuse my voice, but y'all get the point. Like, this is what they do. This is why they make these raggedy ass songs normalizing this shit. Because they'll navigate life recklessly and irresponsibly during their younger years. And once they start to get old and the reality of their mortality starts to kick in and they realize that they're not invincible and they're aging and they're experiencing health issues, suddenly they want to settle down and they start to seek a nurse with a purse. So it's important to be vigilant about this and not to fall prey to this type of phenomenon.
Shout out to my exes.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow.
Keep black women's names out your fucking mouth. I said, keep black women's names out your fucking mouth. Seriously, guys, are you tired of all the negativity and toxicity black women are subjected to in media, music, and online? We are ridiculed, denigrated, and berated daily, and I'm sick of it. That's why I created a private safe space for black women that focuses on divestment, development, and self-empowerment. My private Patreon is for black women only and is a community where we are affirmed, encouraged, supported, and uplifted. For the cost of a coffee, get access to my Patreon community, which consists of a private Discord group to connect with like-minded black women, ad-free bonus content, exclusive private lives, and much, much more. You can check it out on patreon.com/LexisExodus. The link is also listed below.
Shout out to my exes.
Okay, I want to look at this next clip of this woman who explains this perfectly.
Sisters, we've got to stop being hospice care wives. We have to. Today, yet another friend I've learned who got married later in life, and I'm talking 45 and above, because it seems that when myself and my friends who have been single women who, wanted to get married when we were 23 to a nice man who built something with us, it didn't happen. And so we turned 45, and then suddenly here come all these brothers, 40, 45, 50, just Rico Suaves. I mean, complete love bomb. They grabbed my friends. They ran them down the aisle. And today I find out yet another one of their husbands has dropped dead. I mean, I just put it that way. He was already sick when he got with her. And what I'm finding is that with a lot of my friends, because we've been professional women, are getting married to these men, and they are simply looking for benefits. They're looking to rest and to nest. It's not in sickness and in health, it's in sickness and in death. So they realize that they can't pee anymore, or their kidneys are failing, or they feel like they are about to have a stroke or have already had one. And then suddenly they meet my beautiful friends who've worked hard to do everything in life, to take care of themselves, to not be one of the 4 or 5 black women who are murdered every day by mostly black men. And they come up, meet my friends, and they run and get married. And the next thing I know, my friends are dealing with millions of dollars worth of medical bills. Not only dealing with the medical bills, but after these men have passed, here come all their grown ugly kids busting up into my friend's house, breaking their noses, carrying things out of their house, and knowing that their dad was living in efficiency. One of them was living with his mother, goes to live with my friend who has a house of her own, and then he passes away, and then here come all of his grown children and grandchildren kicking in her door to take things because they're certain that she's killed him, even though he's been on kidney dialysis for almost as long as, well, I guess a week after they got married. We've got to stop this, because here's the thing that we need to get in our heads, sisters. If he did not change y'all's babies' diapers when y'all were 23, 24, 27, you don't need to be changing his pants. Stop marrying them. Don't do it. Because this is when black men get 45 in their 50s, they start to realize that they have an expiration date. And that's when they decide that they're going to find the best black woman that they can find, marry you. They make sure you got benefits and you got a place to stay. And then they want to come and sit in their femininity, but didn't do anything for you. They gave their youth and all of their health and their years of fertility and the years that they could have built wealth to some thought, or just tramped around or bought cars while we were paying extra to stay in safe apartment complexes. We built our careers and built our financial wealth. And then now all of a sudden they want to come in and move into your house and have you to take care of them while they lay up on you. I mean, I could go down the list. I have one friend, married a guy. She was totally doing well by herself, married him. 2 weeks later, he's sick, quits working on her medical insurance. She's got $1 million worth of medical bills. Another friend married a guy. Oh, he was love bombing her. I was in their freaking wedding. And guess what? Year after going back for their 1 year anniversary, I was going to go back there for it. He laid in the bed and died. Heart attack, right? Another friend married a guy. Soon as she married him, he realized that he was sick. He didn't know that beforehand. Gets with her, gets on her medical insurance, lives off of her, and then as soon as he got well from his illness, he left her, and now she's paying him alimony and has to give him a portion of her retirement. Sisters, we got to stop being taken advantage of. We got to stop being hospice care wives. Do not marry him, because then he becomes your financial responsibility. And I'm telling you, these black kings, they love to rest in their femininity. They love to come up in your nice house with your fireplace and lay there and have you to nurse them to death.
Child, did y'all hear her? Listen, love it or hate it, one thing about social media is black women are spilling the tea, child. We are starting to connect the dots. It's like, y'all ever had a friend or a relative who always like to lie a lot, but you don't know any better until you start to talk to the rest of the family or the friend group? My son's father is like that. Lies so much to his family about me. They believed it for years that I was this evil person, this monstrous person, until we started talking and connecting the dots ourselves. And I shared what really happened. And he did the same and will lie so much to me about, oh, I'm in school now at the age of damn 30. I decided to finally finish my bachelor's degree. I'm about to go to work. Our son is with me. I remember his dad told me, no, he's been unemployed for a year now. He ain't in no damn school. He mopped the floors at that university. He don't see your child. He leaves him with me all the time. Anyway, that's how it is with black men and the internet. Black women for so long were isolated and in our own little silos. So we bought into the idea of wack love and that ideology, hook, line, and sinker. And we thought the horror stories that we saw happening in Blackistan were an anomaly. We thought that these were rare instances that happened rarely. Not no more. Not no more. Black women are spilling the tea. Your slip is showing, Dusty. So we're spreading awareness. We are connecting the dots and sharing our stories. And now we can talk to Black women all over the world and expose your asses. This woman said these dudes know that they have health issues. They've neglected their health. They've neglected their romantic lives, neglected their children. They're out here ripping and running in the streets, breaking hearts, utilizing their younger years, creating broken homes. That's fine and dandy when you're younger, but one day that lifestyle eventually catches up with you. And now she said one by one, her friends are falling victim to dusties looking for a nurse in a purse. They love to love bomb Black women. They butter them up because, they got one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel. They ain't got no money. Their days are numbered, so they looking for a nurse with a purse. Okay, so of course, this went viral. So there were several comments of Black women sharing similar stories in the comment section, child. So let's watch this and then we will chat.
If he did not change y'all's babies' diapers when y'all were 23, 24, 27, you don't need to be changing his pants. If he did not push your babies that you had together after y'all got married in that house.
I couldn't stitch that video, but let me tell you, she's spitting nothing but facts. These old ass men, and when I say old ass men, I'm talking men that are probably about hitting 45 on up, 45 to on up, just on up. They are looking for a nurse or a purse, one of the two. And I say this all the time. They don't care about you. They just need somebody to come in and take care of them. And pretty much they can drop any woman into that slot. As long as you check off the little boxes that they, that they got, they will accept any woman in their life. They don't care about you per se. They care about them and what you can do for them. And so they are looking for somebody to either help them financially because they have mismanaged their entire lives. They've mismanaged relationships and they've mismanaged finances. Or they're looking for a purse to take care of them, or they're looking for a nurse to take care of their physical health. Because some of these motherfuckers haven't been to a dentist in forever. They don't even know what a dentist chair look like. It's been so long. Okay? They don't even know. They ain't had their teeth got so much plaque and tartar build up on it. And their breath smell like a damn raccoon crawled up in their mouth and died in the back of their damn throat. Okay? And they got high blood pressure, diabetes, and everything else. And if they on them pressure pills lowering everything. Lowering their pressure and lowering that other little thing. Okay? Young ladies, we are trying to save y'all. We are trying to protect y'all. And older women, if you marry one of these old ass men, you need two things. A prenup to protect your finances and a damn life insurance policy. So that when they die, because they probably going to die before you, when they die, at least you're going to get something for having to take care of their old ass. I'm telling you, I done preached this. Nurse or purse, I got that from somebody here on TikTok. And when I heard it, I was like, this is absolutely true. So when we, as older Black women, some of us, because goddamn, I know that there was a video recently that I was like, I don't want nobody listening to that. Like, none of y'all should listen to that. But there's a group of us on here. Y'all better listen to us. We trying to pull y'all into the new millennium. We're not trying to drag you back to the 60s. Y'all better listen to us.
Child. Did y'all hear this woman read comment after comment about how dusties are waiting until they're old and until they grow sick, washed up and hit the wall? Okay, then suddenly they want to settle down. And in fact, they are concealing their illnesses and intentionally dating nurses so that they'll take care of them. So they literally want a nurse in a purse. Like, not just figuratively speaking, not just a spouse who will be their caregiver. They are intentionally seeking skilled, professionally trained, licensed nurses, just so she can literally be his in-house 24-hour around-the-clock nurse that he can get free of charge. And I didn't realize it was that bad until I started researching this further, but this is how predatory niggas are. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When it comes to hypergamy and dating strategically, niggas are putting Black women to shame. So we're out here dating and marrying nogs because we love them and we want whack love. And he's like, I'm sick, so I'm going to find me a nurse. I'm broke, so I'm going to find me someone who can co-sign on a car and who already owns a home and who's responsible enough to handle the bills while I sit up like a pretty, pretty princess. Y'all, she's talking about be hyper vigilant. I'll do you one better. Divest. That way you can avoid this altogether, child, because this don't make no damn sense. Okay, I want to get into this next woman who further expounds on this nurse with the purse concept. So let's watch this and then we'll chat.
This would be funny if it wasn't true. While a lot of older men were running around trying to be with younger women, having babies with younger women, sowing their oats, being reckless, a lot of women, mature women, women their age, we were getting degrees, taking care of ourselves, traveling, reading books, getting therapy, healing, growing, in other words, evolving, becoming. We weren't angels. It's not as if we were out there not doing some things. I've had my share of relationships and fun. And yet, I didn't just have fun. I wasn't just out there, just being reckless. And so, this is not funny at all because these men come back to us years later, like I talked about in one of my TikToks. They come back, they don't have any teeth, they have ED. Many of them haven't done anything with their lives, but they come back with the audacity to want to be with us. And they bring nothing to the table. Little babies, teenagers, they bring back and they want us to help them with them, right? Now they're ready. They come back with problems, health problems, a lot of health problems, diabetes, hypertension, in and out of the hospital, in and out of the doctor's office. And they come back and they really believe that we should want them because they living in a pastime paradise back in the day when Black women, we would just like had to have a man. That was me. Just had to have a man. And then I started looking at all that we give, all that I give, and so little that they give. And I'm going to be real honest, real straight with you. A lot of men are boring. They come back, they're busted, and they're boring. They're boring. I don't do boring. They come back boring. They haven't evolved. They haven't read any books. They haven't traveled. They haven't done anything. And they come back with these old school ideas that we're just going to sit around and watch television together. And I'm going to be happy with that. So no, this was funny, not funny, right? Because it's too true. So no, I'd rather be single. Thanks, but no thanks.
I'm just in awe by how beautiful these women have aged. I mean, look at that salt and pepper hair, just gorgeous, smelling and popping. But listen, y'all. So more mature women beware. This is why we encourage divestment. Sis said they have no teeth and they have ED. So they have erectile dysfunction, they're impotent, and they're toothless. He ain't got no teeth and can't get his nasty little wee up. She ain't lying. I've seen this happen, not to me personally, but with people around me. My son's grandfather did this mess, and he was the worst because he's into personal fitness. So he's very much in shape, and he's tall and has muscles. So he was a ladies' man, and he had several children by several women. And there was one particular woman that he strung along for 20 years, never married her. She was actually a teacher, and I mean, she was beautiful, y'all. Still beautiful to this day. Doesn't look her age, and she's very fit. So she was into track and fitness and was very gorgeous and in shape and took care of her body. She was Bayesian. She's from Barbados. She was a teacher for years. A homeowner had this beautiful home that she still owns. It's probably paid off now. And he wasted that lady's time for 2 decades, y'all, until she finally got sick of it, I guess, and kicked him out. And now he's 50 something, and those health issues started to kick in. And I remember him having a stroke that left one side of his body paralyzed a few years back when I was still with my son's father. And even now, currently, he has some issue where his voice gets very high pitched and squeaky. And I don't know what the hell it's called. If y'all know, if there are people in the healthcare fields or nurses or doctors listening, please share in the comments. My dad jokes and says he sounds like Mickey Mouse, like he done sucked on some helium. And it's so funny because he is huge. Like he's this tall, 6 foot something, big, muscle bound, bald guy who looks like a bouncer or a bodybuilder. And he sounds like a damn cartoon. And he seriously sounds like Michelle A from time to time. So I don't know what the medical issue is. But anyway, so he ended up meeting this poor, sweet, unsuspecting lady a few years back who was unmarried and who didn't have children, who was also a teacher. She's a homeowner. And they got married. He tricked her into marrying him. And guess what happened? So all of a sudden, he's moved into her home. He moved his adult children in there as well for some time. My son's father lived there in his 30s. My son's father's grown ass lived in this lady's garage. And he doesn't anymore, but they still let my son's father just drop off, his children over there. So my son, and then also his youngest daughter, for them to worry about while he's out and about running the streets. And also my son's grandfather suddenly showed up with a new car. He got this new landscaping business now. And it's like, guess who's financing and signing for all that? And now he has this live-in caregiver too. He recently had surgery on his shoulder. Guess who's taking care of him? So he got his nurse and he got his purse. So this is a prime example of how Black women have to be careful because these dusties are predatory. They will waste your best years when you're in your prime and when you're youthful and when you're beautiful, and they'll string you along. So he can sling peen everywhere. Then when he's old and ran ragged and broke and falling apart, now he wants to settle down. And now he wants to use you for your coin, and he wants to use you to take care of him in his old age. Child. So I want to look at this next clip. And shout out to Philosophy, who I believe shared this with me, of this woman who dated a nog for 15 years before getting married. And as a matter of fact, it took the nog so long to commit. She jokingly blows dust off her vows before reading them at their wedding. This is embarrassing. This is a mess. Let's watch this and then we will talk through. This is not funny, y'all. They sit here laughing at this bullish. So she's in her wedding dress, hair did, makeup done, looks beautiful. And she's sitting here ready to read her vows. And so she jokingly blows dust off those vows. Thank God this is not a Black woman that he's getting married to. Embarrassing us. This is a Becky he's humiliating like this. But don't think for a second that the world is disassociating Black women from his nonsense. These dusties do this stuff on a public platform, and they lump all of us into this dysfunction, and people make conclusions about all of us, even divested women, based off of Nog's embarrassing behaviors like this. So he strung this woman along for 15 years, y'all. 15 years before finally walking down the aisle. So much so that she's sitting here in front of her friends and family blowing dust off the damn vows. If they had children, they're fucking grown now. This don't make no mother effing sense. But he found his nurse with the purse. And he found a woman dumb enough to wait around and remain loyal to him while he did God who knows what. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has had children with other women during this time. You know, he's set though. He's set now. I bet she got good credit. I bet she got a fully loaded 401k that she maxes out every year. She probably has a home and will be willing to wait on his ass hand and foot and wash his little boonchie cat as he ages and continues to get older. Child. So I want to keep going, and I want to discuss how when these dudes can't find a nurse with the purse, they also will resort to trying to reconcile with the children they neglected their entire lives instead. Child. So let's watch this and then we'll talk through.
Do not become a hospice care wife.
For those of you who don't know, a hospice care wife is a woman who marries a man later in life and he turns out to be sick and she ends up taking care of him in his final days. What I want to talk about is the hospice care kids. Those were the kids he had in his youth that he claimed that they weren't his and he had neglected and abandoned them. So if he can't find that nurse with a purse, guess what he's going to do? He's going to get on Ancestry.com and find any and all of his kids and pretend to reconcile with them, saying, I'm sorry, I want to be a part of your life. And once they let him in their lives, he's going to drop the boom like, oh, I'm sick, can you help me out? And they'll be compelled to take care of him because that's their father. I feel that there will be a lot of daughters being pulled into those situations, and heaven help if she's working in healthcare. Sadly, a lot of people out there are still looking for their father's love, and if it means running themselves to the ground to take care of him to get it, so be it.
Child, and shout out to the person who's reacting to this. Her page name on TikTok is Bourbon and Bougie, I think is how you say it, Bourbon Bougie. I love this woman. She is super funny, super hilarious. I'm pretty sure philosophy got me hip to her as well. But anyway, check her out. But I'm gonna pause right here and sip some tea on that, like this woman is doing. Black women are tired, y'all. They ain't playing with y'all's nonsense. They are dragging. They are drilling, child. They are spilling the tea. Gone are the days where we will be tight-lipped about this stuff and say, you know, keep family behind closed doors. Keep it in between the family. No more Dusty. Those days are over with. Sis said, not only do Black women have to beware about being a hospice wife or a nurse with a purse, don't think you safe divested women because you're dating out and you've excluded these niggas from your dating options. You also need to be leery about becoming a hospice kid as well. Because these dudes will pump and dump and will create all these fatherless homes all across the city with reckless abandon. And they will neglect the children that they create and neglect their responsibilities. Then all of a sudden, at age 50 and 60, he hitting you up out the blue because he may not be able to find a nurse with a purse. So he going to try to leech off you. He going to hit up the kids that he's abandoned and neglected their entire lives, acting like he's remorseful and wants to reconcile. Meanwhile, he old, he broke, he's broken, he's lonely in somebody's nursing home, dealing with these illnesses on his own. Sometimes terminal illnesses they'll get, and they'll be on their deathbeds. And these dusties will prey upon your vulnerability. They will understand how insecure it can be about, you know, always wanting to have a fatherly figure and wanting to have a connection with your father, especially as girls, in order to fool you into taking care of him in his old age. Black woman, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'll be damned if I take care of a nigga who brought me into this world when I didn't ask to be here and abandoned me and was absent my entire life. Don't be a nurse with a purse, y'all. And don't be no hospice kid either. Because dusties will run amok and wreak havoc, neglect their health and their finances and their children and spouses or the mother of their children their entire lives. They'll neglect and mistreat the women in their lives. Then when all that starts to catch up to them, all of that hard living, they won't call on you, Black women, to fall back on. Don't do it, y'all. I'm curious to hear from y'all because I know you guys have probably witnessed similar instances where this has happened and where Black women have fallen victim to this. Sound off below and share experiences of nurses with purses that you know personally. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Even if you think I should, bitch, nigga, I don't give.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.